Hello and welcome to Talking Game. It's just finished. Crystal Palace 2, West Ham United 3. The Hammers are 4th in the Premier League. Just for a little bit maybe, but we are 4th in the Premier League. Gonzo, happy Hammers!
Unbelievable. My phone is vibrating. Well, either that or I left my vibrator on. I'm not entirely sure, but this is fantastic. I felt today, Geo, we played. I didn't feel, I said this in the preview, Palace didn't see the real West Ham in the first game. This was more like it. This really was. Since the match has finished, which is about 2 minutes ago, I think I've looked at the league table 3 times. So it's the dizzy heights. I'm actually interested in what's going to go on with Southampton and Arsenal, which would never usually interest me in the slightest. Crazy times at the halfway point in the season.
Looking at the league table, playing with your sex toys, I don't blame you, Gonzo. Everything is just sexy after tonight. Everything was sexy. Well, let's talk about the game now. We're going to have a little chat about the game, go through the highlights. Gonzo, it took them just 3 minutes to make it 1-0. Wilfred Zaha with a nice bit of play by Crystal Palace outside the box. Nice touch, take away from a ball, and a fantastic finish by him.
Yeah, everything that you said really, and I think he played with Benteke, wasn't it? Zaha and Benteke. Yeah, really good combination play for them, and we know they can do this. I mean, they did a really nice goal right at the very end as well. So really controlled, really skillful play on the deck, and I feel sometimes when teams play like that, they take it away from our strengths, but fortunately the only time they did really take it away from our strengths at the very start and the very end of the game. But I was they started both half strong, didn't they, Geo, basically? So that's really the story that fortunately we were able to get back into it for a very, very good reason very quickly afterwards.
Yeah, and then we didn't have to wait long to go on. So 5 minutes later, Thomas Souček down the other end of the pitch, and fantastic team goal as well.
Yeah, really good, and a nice. And was on his weaker foot, I believe, the cross from Fornals, right?
Fornals gave it to Antonio, and he sort of hooked it.
But he crossed it. He crossed it with his weaker foot.
Yeah.
And Antonio did a technique, although he didn't score, that Ndombele was getting praised for in the way when obviously he scored, but he sort of flicked it with the outside of his boot. Great, obviously decent technique, good technique, but great awareness. And Souček just rushing in there. You always know he's going to rush in there. And again, I sort of felt at that point, yes, this is it. This is West Ham. This is what we do. This is exactly what we do. And we're a very, very difficult team to play against when we do that.
I thought the pass from Fornals was genius, really. It was a nice little passing play. Creswell gives it to Fornals. And if you take a still, when Fornals has got the ball, if you just pause it, you can see where Antonio is, but you think, there's no way you can give him the ball there. You wouldn't expect Pablo Fornals to find him, but he does it. It's a fantastic little hook by Antonio. It's more Antonio just sort of putting it into the right bit, thinking, well, hopefully someone's there. Let me just get it into the 6-yarder. There's Thomas Souček, slam, goal, 1-1. It was a really good game, actually. I thought it was quite entertaining. Both sides going end to end and stuff. It was really good. But 24 minutes later, 24 minutes on the clock, though, it's another goal. 3 goals after 24 minutes. Thomas Souček again, this time a free kick. Aaron Creswell to the back post. Antonio misses it. And there's Souček. There he is again, Gonzo.
Yeah, just don't give us free kicks or corners. Don't concede them. You really don't want to. We're statistically the best in the league. We are the best in the league as well. It's not like a stat that tells a lie. We are the best at it, which is really weird. It's a culture shock for West Ham. I've got used to it gradually, over the past year, and it's fine. We joked at the start. You said West Ham don't get penalties. I said we don't need penalties. We get free kicks and corners, and so it proved. Cresswell whips it over. Souček, as you say, if Souček hadn't got it, Antonio may well have done. I know they were looking at it for VAR, which is right, because if you didn't, you might have seen it and just how it felt. So I understand them checking it. I thought they checked it for too long. It was quite apparent there was nothing doing there. But the cushion of the thigh, sounds a bit naughty, that. The cushioning of the thigh was excellent from Souček. He really did control the ball really well, and I thought he finished it with his instep incredibly well as well. It was a goal of awareness, of real awareness, real technique. That was goal scoring technique that you really saw there. Cresswell, I don't know how many assists he's going to get this season. Plenty is the answer. What can you say? And deserved as well. We were playing well by this point. We'd seen off their initial little bit, and we were controlling the game and utterly dominant, both wide and centrally at that point.
Yeah, I completely agree. I thought we were fantastic. I think we were playing really good football. When we've got the free kick, ball comes in. Souček makes it look easy. It is not easy whatsoever. First of all, he's got to anticipate it, because when you're watching the VAR, you see how close Antonio and the defenders are to touching it. So quite often you'll see that happen, and there's a sort of bounce, and the striker go, oh, I would have got it if you hadn't jumped and put me off, kind of thing. So he anticipates it. The control is superb. The finish is fantastic from an extremely tight angle. The keeper will be looking at that back, a bit disappointed he never blocked that kind of thing. It's just a fantastic goal all around from Souček. It looks easy, but it's really, really not that simple. And 2 minutes later, though, West Ham United hit the post for the first time of the evening with Mikel Antonio. Crystal Palace took their kick-off, gave it to Cheku Kiate, who probably done one of his best passes ever for West Ham United, and include the time he was a West Ham United player. He put Mikel Antonio through in goal, who hit the post, and then 12 minutes later he hit the post once more, Mikel Antonio Gonzo. Now this was a fantastic team move, I thought. We come down the right hand side, cut back, looks like Fornals the way to hit it, nice little dummy. Creswell takes a shot, it's going wide, Antonio sticks his foot out, comes off the post, and you're just watching it and you're thinking, this is entertainment.
It was pure entertainment, and don't forget, it was not that long ago that we did score another goal that was deflected in like that. If you remember, Souček deflected one in as well. So that wouldn't have been a fluky goal if it happened. We put so much pressure on from doing that sort of thing. We will also get another goal this season that's like that. We keep doing that. I think on the first hitting of the post from Antonio, which was a good shot, I feel, from Antonio. I think that's a really good point to highlight. Because you're talking about Kiate's pass. It's a really good point to highlight what was one of the deciding factors of the game today. Kiate's pass was awful because it got caught up in the wet pitch. Crystal Palace completely overwatered that pitch today. And I do find it was a really weird thing to do. Also, if you looked at it, the grass was very, very long. And I found that really strange because, bearing in mind, look at how Crystal Palace scored both their goals and look at how Crystal Palace wanted to play today. Now, it's your pitch, and a home pitch is meant to give you home advantage. So what you do is you set the pitch up to how you want to play. There was Ben Rama went on the dribble after about 12 minutes, Geo. Beat a couple of players, but the ball got caught up behind him. He couldn't carry. Basically, the ball couldn't travel as fast as he was running. Again, because the pitch was too wet and the grass was too long. Now, Crystal Palace have more players that like dribbling than West Ham do. So actually, it was totally counterproductive to them because we don't have the ball on the ground an awful lot when we score our goals. So actually, it didn't really hinder us very much at all. But I felt it hindered the way Crystal Palace wanted to play massively, actually. And when Kiate looked at that, basically everybody had to put a lot more power on their passing. And it seemed like, almost seemed like they'd overwatered the pitch. The Palace players hadn't been briefed because they carried on playing how they wanted to. And Kiate just, an underpowered pass there, which almost resulted in a goal. I thought it was a real massive error from them on that one.
Yeah, half-time went in, West Ham 2-1 up. Now, if you're watching the video, do drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. It's completely free. Below it says subscribe. Click it, and you're in. You're joining the party at Hammers Chat. 2-1 Gonzo, and I have to say, I think Crystal Palace were extremely lucky it was only 2. I think we deserved to score 3-4 in that half. I thought we were fantastic. Tactics were spot on. I thought we were pressing them. We were forcing them into errors. The pitch, like you said, was not great to play on for both teams, but it seemed like we were coping better with it. I thought they couldn't cope with one or two individual players of ours, but we'll talk about individual players once we go through the game. I thought one or two in particular were really running the game for us. I thought we were just excellent. I thought that was almost like a 10 out of 10 performance, bar their goal, but I'm willing to put that down to a fantastic individual goal by Wilfried Zaha, one of the best players in the league on his day. I'm willing to say, well done, fantastic. I always say to you, show me a goal, I'll show you a mistake. I don't really see much mistakes there by West Ham. You can nitpick a little bit, O'Bonna comes out, so on and so forth, but a lot of players would have took the shot first time and O'Bonna would have blocked it. It's just a fantastic individual goal, but that's all they had going for them. I felt like they were relying on individual brilliance from Zaha, but we were playing like a team and they had no answers for the questions we were asking. I felt like we almost had answers for questions they didn't even want answers to. It was just superb in the first half, Gonzo.
Yeah, and talking to Zaha, we were on the subject of it. He had gone mentally by that point, but by the sort of end of the first half, because he seemed to be trying to have a running battle with Dawson, which he was losing. Ball went to Dawson. Dawson actually sort of feinted one way and flicked the ball past him. And Zaha fouled him, just kicked him on the shin, nowhere near the ball. The trick, basically, Dawson out-tricked Zaha. Zaha kicked him, and it was a foul, fair enough. the referee awarded it, he carried on moaning Zaha, and then he carried on having a go at Dawson, who basically he had fouled. He didn't kick the ball at him. And I thought, okay, this is, you've gone now mentally. You've gone here. You'd sort of lost it, and which was a good thing because that's obviously their most creative player. And I felt at that point that he went that strong side, which is Eze and Zaha down that side. You take a big component out of that, it's gonna cease to function. I felt after that point it was really only Eze who showed some really brilliant moments of skill in that. He was sort of on his own in trying to break us down, really.
A massive thank you to Barney Haymarket chucking 199 in the super chat. Huge win. Come on, full-time fund in Europe. Come on, you Irons. Massive thank you. A couple of minutes into the second half, Gonzo, Zaha had a massive opportunity. He really should be scoring this. Gets put through and goal by Eze. Sort of Palace broke a little bit. Great save by Lucas Fabianski. Then in the 58th minute, Michail Antonio again, but it's a fantastic save by Guetta. Ben Rama, good work down the right hand side, crossing. Michail Antonio gets on the end of it with a superb save. And in the 64th minute, Gonzo, our nerves settled a little bit. 3-1 West Ham United, a corner, in it comes. There's Craig Dawson, towering over Gary Cahill and smashing into the back of the net with his head.
Yeah, and just reward for two fantastic battling performances there. Dawson was outstanding today, so a deserved goal from him. And also somebody who had to sacrifice himself a bit today was Jared Bowen. So he got the assist for that, which was another one. He got many, obviously, this season, lots of involvement. But because they're so strong down that side, he spent so much of that initial first half just making sure there was no room through for Eze and Zaha, which I felt also built for the frustration. Also, he was sort of dovetailing and moving into midfield quite a lot. So he sacrificed a lot of his, running and dribbling that he would like normally to do to be a workhorse today, Bowen. So I was really, really pleased for that. But again, just another corner. And I do wonder how much... we're going to score those goals anyway. We're going to score those corners. He did seem a little bit unmarked or disarray, but I'm not entirely sure what happened. I think substitutions should have been made. I'm not sure that the Premier League rules were strictly adhered to there in terms of the concussion for neither player. I'm talking about obviously Kiate and Gary Cahill not to go off. There's something called SIS which has to be adhered to. I don't feel that happened. So there's no way that neither of those players were concussed at that point. So you sort of got to allow them for a little bit of disarray. What I'd also like to say, I thought it was magnificent how the West Ham medical team rushed onto the pitch, because obviously, Crystal Palace's medical team got set up for a double concussion there. So I love the way that West Ham's medical team ran on to help. I thought that was really sportsmanlike and really decent, but yeah, I think we can score those goals anyway. But I think it's going to be. I was surprised that a defensive substitution or a concussion substitution had not been made.
69 minutes. 69 is normally a sexy number minute for Michail Antonio tonight, as you miss yet another chance. Went close once again, but just wasn't quite going in the back of the net for him. Then in 88th, West Ham started making substitutions as Ryan Fredericks came on, followed by Yarmolenko, Mark Noble, and then a consolation goal for Crystal Palace Gonzo right at the end. Batshuayi getting played in with a clever flick from Jordan Ayew. Good finish, holds off Aaron Creswell. But it finished Crystal Palace 2, West Ham United 3. Gonzo.
Yeah, I mean, look. I mean, people might look at that and they'll look at the scoreline and think, "Oh, that was a close game." But it wasn't a close game.
I was going to say, not often you win and the scoreline flatters the team you've defeated.
Yeah, I mean, it was really a 5-2, 6-2 game, something like that. But I'm not saying that was the double save from Fabianski was outstanding goalkeeping, by the way. When the player ratings Patreon video, I get a little bit of stick because I don't score him highly. I say he's done nothing. He doesn't have to do anything. And today will be different. He's done something today, and he went and made another save later on near the end as well. But we were dominant. They had a good spell at the start of each half. That goal at the end, thought we were cruising then, but we just had total domination. We had their number today. So much of what Crystal Palace do is based on hard work and frustrating the opposition, and it's difficult to frustrate a team like us when we're going to score so many goals from the way that we do, which is wide areas. Say the ball's not spent. It's funny, the way we score our goals, the ball doesn't spend a lot of time on the floor, right? But actually, the pressure, the way we get those corners and we get those free kicks, actually, we're playing very well. We're playing good triangles. We're passing and moving. And I actually felt that when we were passing well, we adjusted to that wet pitch better than they did. We seemed to realise, hold on, we need to put another 20% power on our passes to make sure it gets there. I just thought there was so much to admire in what we did, and I did think it was going to be a little bit squeaky bum today, but by the time I think halfway through the first half, particularly when the second goal went in, I think it was going to be difficult then for them to get back into it, and I was never worried. I was never worried, actually. I always thought we were going to win.
Yeah, I thought we were fantastic. That was probably my favourite performance of the season. I know Wolves and Leicester games look better on paper, the 3-0 and the 4-0 victories over them, but tonight I think we generally could have scored 5 or 6 tonight. That we would not have come away thinking, wow, we fluked that. We genuinely deserved to score more goals. The football was just superb. Every player out there played well. Some played fantastic, some had decent games, and that was it. But that's okay. You're never going to get 11 players playing superb in one match. And you know something, I'd rather they didn't. I'd rather have consistency. I'd rather have 5-6 players playing good and the other 4 or 5 playing really, really good, and then the next week it swaps around kind of thing. I want a team performance being consistent. Tonight, everything just clicked. We were super, front to back, left to right, first minute to the last minute. I felt very comfortable. Even if they scored that second goal in the 85th minute rather than 95th, I would have still felt comfortable that we were going to go on and win. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I sat there smiling during the whole game of that football. It helps that we got an equaliser in the 8th. I probably wasn't smiling between the 3rd and the 8th minute, but apart from that, I was sitting there enjoying watching West Ham United play football tonight, enjoying watching the players that we have playing football tonight, and I was proud, and I can't believe it. Forget going forward, just the game itself, I thought we were absolutely brilliant, but you have to then take into consideration that we did go forward. There was a lot of pressure on us going into this one tonight. We are the first one in the fixture list, this block of games. We are win and go forth. Fantastic. We were just superb. We really, really were. The manager got his tactics spot on. Roy Hodgson done what he usually does, which is nothing. And we took advantage of that. You know, we made... There are two similar managers to some extent, Moyes and Hodgson, as is Steve Bruce and that. But I'll tell you something. Moyes took the piss out of him tonight, really, with the way we played football. I just thought we were just ridiculously good. My favourite game this season by a long, long way. Individual performance, Gonzo, take your pick. Take 2 or 3. We could talk about them all, but pick 2 or 3.
Okay, let's see. Dawson and Fabianski I've already mentioned. I think, you know, they certainly deserve special mentions. Obviously Souček. I don't really know what else to say, really. He's just so good, and he's gonna. I don't know how many central midfielders are scoring and how many they're scoring, what they're up to. But he's up there. He's up there with goal scoring midfielders. Declan Rice was the king of the football pitch today. It is just he's phenomenal. I don't know if anybody can do more interceptions than Declan Rice. I don't know, but if there is a footballer out there that intercepts that football more than Declan Rice and reads that game better, I'd like to see him, and I'd like to see his highlight reel. And when you have a central midfield that is quite well rounded, that can pass the ball well, he did some wonderful dribbling as well, Declan Rice. He was caught up in the middle and switched the ball between his feet and came out. But when you've got arguably the best goal scoring midfielder, and I mean midfield, I'm talking about Kevin De Bruyne, I'm talking central midfield. I'm not talking attacking midfield, central midfielder. Arguably the best goal scoring central midfielder in Souček in the league, and possibly the best interceptor or tackler central midfielder. And that's your combination. So you've got goals and you've got tackling. That's really something, isn't it? I mean, let's be perfectly honest. Antonio ran his absolute socks off, and I thought. Remember in the first game, I thought that Eze and Ben Rama. I thought Eze at the edge and probably showed I was the man of the tricky wide players from the Championship. Even though Ben Rama didn't particularly play wide, I felt Ben Rama won that battle today as well, and he caused them all sorts of problems all game, which I thought then in turn sort of created plenty of space for other people. But I mean, there's a lot of players you could pick out today. Oh, Cresswell was magnificent as well.
Thanks to Miggsy. Miggsy's put £5 in the full-time fund. Thanks, Miggsy. Says, come on, you Irons. Craig Dawson. I wasn't glad when we signed him. I hated the fact we signed him. I've been impressed by his performances so far. I've been waiting for him to come up against a pacey player, come up against one tonight. I thought he was superb, and I'll tell you what, he did a Bobby Moore tackle. That tackle, wow! He was backing off, and I thought, oh no, here he goes. Palace were sort of on the attack, coming forward in numbers, and he just backed off, in he goes.
And the commentator didn't mention it.
Yeah, that tackle was beautiful. I love a good tackle. And I'm not talking about the Ben Rama windmill like we were earlier, but that tackle from Craig Dawson, perfect. He was fantastic tonight as well. Zaha tried to get in his head in the first half a little bit, fouled him, then started to give him a little bit of this and stuff, but Dawson just shrugs it off, gets his goal as well. And you could see how delighted Ogbonna was that Dawson scored. And I don't think it was just the fact that West Ham scored. I think it was because his defensive partners scored a goal as well. And I just love it. There's just such a good harmony at the minute. And you can see it in the way we play football. You can see it in the faces of the players when we go about our business. I thought Antonio was superb. One of his best games this season. He hasn't scored, obviously, but he's done everything but. However, I always say the hardest thing for a striker is to get in the right position. You keep getting in the right position, goals will come naturally. Tonight he could have had a hat-trick. He was just a little bit unlucky. A couple of inches either side when he hits the post. The one that keeper saves, it's just an outstanding save. Yes, all he does is hit it. He could probably have done something a bit better finish, but he does that another 9 times, he'll score 8 of them. It's just a fantastic reaction save by the goalkeeper. Antonio done everything correct tonight, absolutely everything. He was just superb, hassling them, and then I'm struggling because I don't want to mention my man of match. I like to keep him, but I don't know who to give it to. I know there's an obvious one with Thomas Souček, but there's someone else I'm actually debating giving it to. No, something. I'm going to give it to the other one. I think Souček was brilliant. His goal scorer. He's our best finisher. He's our best poacher. It's quite ridiculous, really, that he's got the natural instincts of a striker. He was just brilliant again tonight. He just made the Palace midfield look like amateurs at times. I thoroughly enjoyed watching him. We were superb, Gonzo. Every single player was brilliant. I've kept one back in particular. But just quickly, Duracell Plus says, hi lads, love the channel. Can we talk about the throwing incident with Creswell? What was the referee thinking? Hilarious to hear what Aaron called him. He's put £5 into the full-time fund. I mean, what was that all about?
I think he was being a bit pernickety. Funny enough, my son was in here and he turned around. He said, that referee's a bit OCD. My favourite part about it was just how squeaky and scouse-like Cresswell was. You've got to love a scouser when they get a very, very agitated. And he was on full squeak, very full squeak, and I thought it was magnificent. He was brilliant today.
Peter Cannon struck £10 into the full-time fund as well. Thank you, Peter. You shouldn't have done that, but thank you, Peter, anyway. If you're still with us, drop a like on the video if you haven't subscribed, if you're new. Superb. We'll get our final thoughts in a second. Can I get your man of match, then we'll do final thoughts, because I think tonight's such a good win, such a big win. I'd rather get your final thoughts at the end and end.
It's interesting what you said. I think there's 3 man of the match contenders actually. I think it's Dawson, Rice and Souček for me. I don't know which. I totally understand what you were saying. Hold on, I've got a cup of tea. Thank you. Service with a smile, my friend. I understand what you're saying. The temptation is to give it to Souček. He scored a goal. Dawson scored a goal as well. I think I am going to go with you. Well, I don't know what you're giving it, but I'm actually going to give it to Declan Rice. Just what he was outstanding today.
No, I'm going to give it to Saeed Benrahma. I thought Benrahma was unbelievable tonight. I thought Palace couldn't touch him. They couldn't get near him, and when they did, he went past them. I honestly thought Saeed Benrahma's performance was near enough perfection. He was skipping past them. He's popping up on the left, popping on the right, going past players. I thought, this is the guy we've been waiting to see. Here he is. He's coming out of his shell now. I feel bad not giving it to Souček, really, because 2 goals should get you, essentially. But I think Saeed Benrahma tonight took it up another level. I really did. I thought every time he got the ball, I thought Palace backed off. They didn't want to go near him. And when they did go near him, he did a trick, dropped the shoulder and went by them. They just could not handle him. He was unbelievable. I thought he was unplayable tonight, actually, Benrahma. But there were so many good performances, really, really good players. But I do think Benrahma just looked the best player on the pitch tonight. I genuinely do think that. Can I get your final thoughts, please, Gonzo?
Just brilliant. I mean, absolutely brilliant. I'm so... It's a weird feeling, Geo. It is just a weird feeling. I've got to say, I don't feel like we're fluking it at the moment. I feel we are solid. it feels like we're a solid. There's just the foundations. I think that's it. That's probably what I'm trying to say. The foundations to this feel solid. That it feels like it's a team. You've just given it to Benrahma, but he didn't feature in any of the goals, so you could take Benrahma out of that, and I still feel we'd have played well. I feel that the team is. I feel you could take almost one of those players out of there, and the team still plays well. You know, because I do feel there's the system, which is the importance of the squad. You know, today Dawson was the best of the two centre halves, but Ogbonna did nothing wrong at all. And I think if you can keep finding these players that can play within this system, and that the striker one is an important one because we need. That was the problem with Haller. He couldn't fit in. He couldn't play and do that sort of thing. We've got I've just mentioned Fornals today, apart from in the goal as well. There's so many players to talk about, obviously. Had a big impact today, Fornals. He's, quite a few, 3 or 4 good games in a row now that he's had. And I just look at it and I see a team. I see a team. And what I will say is, Jeff, in a build-up show, somebody asked Wilfried Zaha, would you take him at West Ham? And I looked at him today, and I know this won't be news to you because you don't like his attitude and all the rest of
No.
it. But he did something naughty in the last game. And it's not like I particularly want to dig Crystal Palace out, because if you remember in the last game, Andros Townsend did something absolutely brilliant because it looked like Aaron Cresswell was really seriously injured. He could have played on, he could have taken advantage, and he just stopped and he said Eddie called somebody over and he kicked the ball out so as Cresswell would get attention. I thought we showed that sporting nature today with the physios coming on. I don't feel like Zaha is part of that football spirit, if you know what I mean. And I look at our team, and you look at, particularly you mentioned Benrahma, what Moyes is trying to do with Benrahma, and you can see it working. All I can say, the best thing I can say about Benrahma is I don't feel he's a luxury player anymore. I don't feel that he's there to do us a favour, because actually he's running hard, he's closing down, he's doing all the things that Moyes wants him to do. So that other stuff and the goals will come. But my point is his attitude's right, and every player in our squad and every player that's playing at the moment, their attitude is right. And for that reason, I've changed my mind. All right, within 2 or 3 hours. Actually, I don't think I would take Wilfried Zaha anymore, and I'd taken out of it, because I think the wrong character now in that setup we got, because we're better than the sum of our parts. We're mixing it with teams at the top of the table who have better players than us, but for lots of factors. We're doing well, and it feels solid. Will we finish top 4? No, we won't. But I tell you what, we're going to be in and around the top positions, giving it a go. We really are. We really are. This is. But we're not there by fluke anymore. We are not. We're not going to suddenly find ourselves down in 12th later on in the season. We're here. We're here, and we are a proper football team.
We're here on merit. We're here on merit. We're here because we deserve to be here and stuff. I just want to say well done to the manager, really. I've never been his biggest fan. I didn't want him back at West Ham and stuff. But he's been superb. And tonight, and it's not just tonight, it's the season. And tonight's like a sort of like an organic growth of the team throughout the season, if you like. And that is down to the manager. I'll do a video tomorrow or Thursday about the manager in particular. But he got it spot on again tonight. Honestly, I would back David Moyes so much right now. I think he could turn Adam Johnson's playing career around. That's how good he's doing. He's just been superb. He really has. I have to give him the credit. But we were just fantastic tonight, Gonzo. I went into this one a little bit nervous. It was almost like I was nervous to get excited about going fourth. Almost like I felt like I was going to set myself up to get a bit disappointed. I didn't want to get disappointed, because if we lost tonight and we remained 7th in the league, you can hardly grumble about it, can you? You feel like, oh well, we lost, but we're still 7th. So I was almost a little bit restraining myself not to get too excited. But watching that, I'll tell you something. I was watching it with a smile on my face. I really, really enjoyed that game, Gonzo. It feels special.
Yeah.
Do you know something? What the other seasons you mentioned in the video earlier, I don't know if it was the one for the patrons or the build-up show, you said when we were like 4th with Allardyce, you always felt it was like a bit fluky, built on a house of cards, if you like. Even the Upton Park season with Slaven Bilic, we kept conceding goals. We were doing well, but only because we were winning 3-2. You know, and it felt like you'll get away with that for so long. But with this one, you just feel that this is a little bit different this year. Now, whether that's the FA Cup, whether it's a league or what, it just feels that this is there's something a little bit special happening at West Ham United. Everyone's happy. The club's happy. The fans are happy. Everybody's just loving it. It's a fantastic journey. You know, we play Liverpool on Sunday. I think we're going to win. I can't wait. I can't wait. Anyway, right, we're going to do something a little bit different now. We're going to do something different. Give us 10-15 minutes. We're going to go live again. We're going to be live in 10-15 minutes with Talk West Ham. You seen the show last night where you guys phone in. You guys give us your opinion. We're going to do it again. Talk West Ham. We want your comments on the players, the manager, the performance. Get them in. So don't go anywhere. Give us 10-15 minutes to get set up. It's an impromptu show. Join us in 10-15 minutes and get your comments in. We'll get them up on the screen. We'll read them out and we'll get people calling in and having a chat with us as well. Let's keep this feel-good factor going. But while we get set up, drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Look, Gonzo's panicking already. He needs to get going.
Yeah, I do.
We'll see you in 10-15 minutes. We'll catch you in a bit.